Welcome, everybody. I can see you logging on. Just give everybody a second to get here. And maybe you want to grab a nice lemon water or some tea while we wait. Okay, awesome. I think we can get started. Hi, everybody. My name is Barb Sheldon, and I have the pleasure of being your host today for this Secrets to Toning Down Burnout Through Food webinar brought to you by the Live Life Nourished webinar series at Regency. In this webinar, you will learn about the different factors of burnout and how the right foods can help you manage symptoms to increase productivity and reduce your stress levels. But before we go any further, I wanted to ask you a poll question. So your question is this: how many of you believe that you could increase your energy just by changing what you eat? And I'll give you a second to answer. Okay, great. And we'll get to those answers at the end of the seminar. So far, I can see some of you think so, but some of you are skeptical, and that is just fine. So let me introduce myself. So as I said, my name is Barb Sheldon. It's a pleasure to meet you all. I'm a Canadian chef and a certified holistic nutritionist, and I have over 20 years of experience as a culinary nutrition expert. I've given keynotes all over the world, taught hundreds of cooking classes, and provided many companies with training packages to improve the well-being of their employees. I did my graduate work on the role of food literacy education in the lives of marginalized youth. And so basically this means that my interest lies in helping everyone everywhere learn how to cook and eat their way to health. So at Regency, we have a fully qualified professional team of nutritional consultants that provide tailored nutrition plans and accountability to all of its members. It's pretty cool. It's on an unlimited basis, so it's essentially like coaching. It means that weekly we can assess your nutritional status, see how you're doing, and what you might need to reach your health goals. In addition, Regency also has teams of psychological counselors and fitness consultants to ensure that every member around the globe has access to professional guidance to live a healthier life. There are a vast number of areas within nutrition and the science of healthy eating. But for today, we're going to focus on one of the many areas that Regency's team of professional nutritionists can help you with, and that's the management of burnout and exhaustion. So the topics that we're going to be covering in this webinar are as follows: the causes of burnout and exhaustion, how burnout affects the mind and the body, how burnout is linked with food, how food affects our overall health, and then some tips and tricks for how we can boost our immune system and our energy while managing the symptoms of burnout by using food. We want to provide you with knowledge and information about the relationship between food and burnout because not everybody knows the secret to how food can affect your overall mood and health. And we believe that knowing that can really help you increase your productivity, energy, and stay healthier longer. Let's first talk about the causes of burnout and exhaustion so that you can more easily get to the root of the problem for you and try to get a handle on it before it flares up. There are some internal and some external factors for why we experience burnout and exhaustion. But in general, some of the most common causes of burnout you may experience affect both the mind and body and can make everybody feel down and sluggish and lethargic, less productive. So one of the first reasons why you might experience burnout symptoms would be the amount of allostatic load you have on your body. So this is basically the amount of stress that you have coming in all the time. Now, another reason could be because that stress then accumulates. So if you look at the last couple of years through COVID, and in talking to all of my clients recently, I know that we've all experienced this cumulative buildup of stress that has contributed to our lack of energy, foggy thinking, and feeling like we're burned out. Now let's look at how burnout affects both the mind and the body. So first of all, I'd like to explain the difference to you between stress and stressors and actual burnout. So stressors are things that our body and our mind perceive as change. So they can be good things like birthday parties, getting married, having a baby, getting a promotion at work. They can be negative things like losing a job, getting divorced, having a mountain of work to do that you can't keep up with. Both of those things are considered stressors. And over the course of time, if we are not paying attention to the signs and the symptoms that our body is telling us, we might let those stressors accumulate and build up. And when they build up and we don't have a good outlet for stress release, that's when we see the stress taking a toll on our hormonal system, which I'll get into in a minute. And then that can become burnout. So to the point where you are so exhausted, you are so mentally and physically fatigued that you can't do much else other than lie on the couch. You might lose connection from your family and friends. You might not have any motivation to go out and exercise. You might see premature signs of aging, like more gray hairs develop or blood pressure increase. The part of your brain called your amygdala, which actually controls emotional reactions, can actually become enlarged when you're under an amazing amount of emotional and physical fatigue and stress. And you can even increase your risk when you're burned out of non-communicable diseases such as cancer and heart disease, diabetes, that kind of thing. Okay, now let's dive a little bit deeper and quickly go into the science behind burnout and exhaustion. It's always important to me that my clients understand the why behind symptoms that they're experiencing, because then we can help make food choices that really support what they need. So, a little explanation about how stress is managed in your body. You have a system, which is a biofeedback loop in your body called the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, which is the HPA axis. And basically, what that means is you've got these hormonal glands, two in your brain, your hypothalamus and your pituitary, and your adrenal glands, which sit atop your kidneys. And the three of them work together, kind of like an army. So your hypothalamus is like the commander in chief. It's waiting to get signals from the pituitary. The pituitary is like a scout, and it's sort of surveying the land, and it's checking in with all the battalion commanders, and it's saying, what's going on? Are we under stress? Are we under attack? Do I need to send in reinforcements? And then the adrenal glands, where your stress hormones are primarily made, get back to the pituitary and say, yes, we are under stress. We're going to secrete more adrenaline, or tell the hypothalamus that we need more cortisol. And the loop continues over and over again when you're in this sort of stress mode, and then when you're also in rest and digest mode. So that's how the system works. Now, the adrenal glands secrete three enzymes: cortisol, which balances and manages your stress response; adrenaline, which is your fight or flight hormone, and everybody knows that one; and then norepinephrine, which is your rest and digest hormone. And so when you are in a state of fight or flight, even if it's just chronic fight or flight, like you're late for work or you have too many demands on your time at work, you're essentially telling your body in a very basic way that you're being chased by a tiger, that your life is in danger. Humans have this uncanny knack to constantly think we're being chased by a predator, even when we're not. And we are giving ourselves signals all the time that we're under stress. So our norepinephrine, which is our rest and digest hormone, doesn't get a chance to work well. And over the course of time, your adrenal glands get really tired and they actually stop functioning optimally. And your cortisol, which, like I said, regulates your stress response, begins to not work well. And that's where a lot of my clients are when they come to see me. They're at a point where their cortisol isn't working well and they have this inflamed reaction to daily stressors, and they're at the tipping point of being able to not handle that very well anymore. Some of them have gone past that tipping point and they're in full exhaustion and burnout. Okay, so now that we know what causes stress, let's look at what gives us energy, because that's really what we all want at the end of the day. So let's look at the foods first that give us energy, and let's look at the foods that take energy away, and let's look at the foods that are fake energy. So foods that give you energy are foods that typically are brightly colored naturally. foods that are close to the earth, things like vegetables, fruits, whole grains, grass-fed meats, healthy fats, which are excellent for your brain. So things like avocados, nuts, and seeds. I know this probably doesn't come as a surprise to you, but these are the foods that over the course of time make those spark plug reactions in your body. Food is never neutral, you see. It either helps you or it hurts you. Not even water is neutral because water helps us. Water is also a food that gives us energy. And I would say that a good portion of my clients are very dehydrated. So just even drinking more water, literally 1 or 2 more glasses a day, can help increase your energy overall. Food that takes your energy away would be food that is refined and processed, filled with chemicals, filled with too much sugar, filled with too many preservatives, like you might see words in ingredient lists that you don't totally understand. Another food that would take energy away from you would be something that you are actually intolerant to or allergic to. And then sometimes we rely on food that gives us fake energy. So we see this in children, that's sugar. A kid goes to a birthday party and they eat too much cake. You see lots of energy, and then you see them lying on the floor having a temper tantrum and crying. You do the same thing when you take in too much caffeine. The chemical caffeine from coffee or tea or soda pop actually releases adrenaline. And that adrenaline is too much stress on our body. Our heart beats too hard, our blood pressure increases, and actually, again, increases our energy, but then crashes it over the course of time. And what we're looking for is nice, stable energy over the course of the day. Our behaviors and our quality of life depend on what we eat. I think this is what we're gathering from what I just said. You can think of your body almost like a high-performance race car. If you give it optimal fuel, it's going to go faster. It's going to be better, cleaner burning fuel that has less waste and less toxicity. This is what we're looking for overall. So when we eat that way, we don't just get an increase in energy, but we see things like our sleep quality improves. So when we have a nice, quiet digestive system that digests food optimally, we absorb our nutrients, and there isn't a lot of congestion like gas and bloating, we tend to sleep better at night. Our blood sugar stays more balanced throughout the day. We become more productive because our brain is sharper. We don't feel like we need to rely on taking a whole bunch of coffee breaks to keep fueling ourselves with that fake energy. We have a gentler, kinder emotional response in our body, so we don't have those flare-ups of anger, impatience, sadness, anxiety, depression, because our brains are working well, they're feeling well nourished, and they don't feel like they're being attacked all the time. And then our immune response is stronger. So right now, this is incredibly important. We are trying to avoid a virus that's running all over the world. And we want to make sure that our immune systems are as strong as possible to be able to do that. And again, when we eat the foods that give us energy, we're also eating the foods that nourish us and give our immune system the ability to act in a really optimal, efficient way. So essentially, choosing good, nutritious, high-quality food helps improve our overall health as well as our emotional response to everything that we do. So here's one of my favorite quotes. I absolutely love this functional medicine doctor, Dr. Mark Hyman. And he said one time this quote, and it really resonated with me. He said, "Every time you take a bite of food, consider that you are programming your biology for health or disease. When you eat healthy food, you are in fact eating medicine." So, we eat for a lot of different reasons, and sometimes it's okay to eat just simply for joy, even if it's not the most nutritious thing. But it's really about the long-term plan, right? Over the course of time, are we giving our body the fuel that it needs to handle the mental and emotional stressors that we're encountering every day so that we can build resilience and keep our energy? So if you want to be able to manage your burnout symptoms and actually increase your own energy and vitality through food, I wanted to give you some tips and tricks right away. The first thing is learn what gives you energy. So that can be a food-related thing or anything else that you consume. So what media is giving you energy? What media is taking your energy away? I know lately for me, almost all media takes my energy away. I don't even like looking at screens very much anymore because it makes me feel headachy and tired, and I have to look at a screen during the day. And then as far as food goes, I try to make choices that I know I will digest well and that make me feel good directly after I eat them. So pay attention, maybe do a little journaling and think to yourself, gee, that donut actually, I got a headache after I ate that. Or my third cup of coffee makes me feel a bit shaky. Or I was feeling tired around 1 o'clock, but then I drank a liter of water and I felt better. Something like that. Also, ask for help. This is the thing that we don't do in our society. Ask for help in your surroundings, the people that are around you. If you're feeling really tired and stressed, people around you that love you probably know this. And I think it's okay to say, to your best friend, hey, would you mind going grocery shopping with me? Because it takes a lot of energy for me to lift all those bags into the car. Or maybe you can get together with somebody that you love, your partner, your kid, your spouse, and create a workspace in your kitchen where you really want to go, a place that brings you joy. I always say to my clients, I go into kitchens to cook for people, people's homes, and their kitchens are a disaster. They're so messy. They have a stack of papers where there should be knives. They have to reach really far for things. They don't have a comfortable mat to stand on. Their knives aren't sharp. All of these things help increase your ability to want to prepare wholesome, healthy, energy-giving food for yourself. So if you can create a space and think like a chef that is actually, brings you ease and joy, then you're going to want to be in the kitchen more. Create a cooking workspace that brings you joy. Get organized there. Increase that water intake. Like I said, people are very resistant to increasing water, and it does take time to get used to it because you might tend to go to the bathroom at first more than you want to, but your body does get used to it. You are 70% water, and oftentimes a lack of energy comes from dehydration. Get to know your digestive system. Like I said, journal and think about what foods feel peaceful in your belly, what foods maybe create loose stool, constipation, and along with that then comes a decrease in energy. And if you need that help correcting those imbalances, ask us here for that help, and we'll make sure to set you up with somebody who's qualified to help you deal with your digestive stress. And then lastly, my biggest tip of all is mindful eating. So sometimes slowing down while you're eating gives you enough peace to just take a deep breath. When you're able to take a deep breath, you switch from fight or flight mode into rest and digest mode. Your body settles, your blood pressure drops, you're looking at your food, you're tasting it, and you actually absorb your nutrients better. So if you don't know how to do that, I'm super happy to teach you about mindful eating. So because lately in our society, we're able to get food products passed to us through a drive-through window, some of our really good health habits that our ancestors had have been lost, like cooking together, like eating together. We need to find new ways to integrate nutrition into our lives. We need to find ways to live a healthier and well-nourished lifestyle. Choosing to stay healthy is investing in behaviors for the long term, right? So even if you're just drinking 1 glass of water today, if you do that over the course of time, you drink a little more water, you incorporate another apple, some more nuts and seeds, all of these things are cumulative and will help decrease the symptoms of burnout and increase your ability to live a healthier lifestyle for longer. Now is the best time to invest in good food and get our minds and our bodies performing at the best possible levels to continue enjoying our lives to the fullest. At Regency, we guide and support our members to make that happen. We help our members live healthier lives. Thanks to our consultants who work in different countries, we can easily reach out to our members all over the world and create tailored nutrition programs to maximize the benefits of their policy. One of the keys to a stress-free lifestyle is a healthy mind and a strong immune system to prevent various diseases and help you live an active and productive life. And we're here to help you do that. Thank you to everyone for joining today. It's my pleasure to give you the best support through this journey. Before we go, I just wanted to ask you one more time if you now believe that food can help increase your energy. And I can see that the poll answers say that yes, you do, which is phenomenal. If you need any further info regarding Regency's additional benefits, please contact info@regencyforexpats.com. And this webinar will be made on demand so you can watch it again and share it with your friends and your colleagues and your family. I look forward to welcoming you to one of our future webinars and hopefully consulting with you in the future. Till next time, and remember, when we eat better, we do better. Thank you.